Alright everyone, welcome back to another Game Vault video. As always, I'm Captain Beefy with the Game Vault, and yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about Ubisoft today, Yusuke, and Assassin's Creed Shadows. Let's cue the music and we'll get right to it. Alright, so from that Park Place, and as always, I'll link below to the article. After being trashed by gamers, Assassin's Creed Shadows lead producer Karo Une, I guess, doubles down on game's commitment to be authentic as possible. Interesting considering the fact that the main character is a real person, but in a role that is not only contested, but never proven to have been a role for him. Yusuke, you were never a samurai. I don't care how bad people want you to be. That's like, you know, it's like the people that want George Floyd to be a saint. No, he was a thug. This is the George Floyd of, you know, the feudal times of Japan right here. But anyway, let's look at this article a little bit. Gamers, including Japanese gamers, have made it abundantly clear that Ubisoft has not committed to historical accuracy when it comes to the game. Thousands of Japanese players have signed a petition calling on Ubisoft to shut the game down and have accused Ubisoft of insulting Japanese culture and history, which they claim can lead to racism in Asia. All right, let's break that one down real quick. First off, Ubisoft's not shutting down the game. I can guarantee you that. There's too much time, money invested in this thing, and it's too close to launch for them to do it. Although, they did delay Skull and Bones a couple times when it was pretty close to launch. So, there's always that outside possibility, but I highly doubt it. I think Skull and Bones was just an unworkable mess, whereas this is just a highly contested, highly divisive project that they just want to probably get past it right now at this point, I would think. You know, as far as historical accuracy goes, I know the argument is we're never historically accurate 100% in Assassin's Creed, and that's fine. I get it. You know, I'm not looking for historical accuracy. If I want historical accuracy, I'll read a history book. You know, I'm not going to play Assassin's Creed. If I want to play a fun game set against a historical backdrop, I'll do that. Do I want things to be outside the realm of the reality of it? Like, if I had gone to play the Greek one, what was Odyssey, and the main character was Japanese, I'd have not been happy. I'd have been like, well, why am I not playing as an ancient Greek, you know? If I had played in the Egypt one, the Assassin's Creed Origins, and he was an Egyptian, that would be annoying, you know? It's like, well, what's this guy doing here? And the same thing with Valhalla, if he wasn't, you know, a Viking. It would have sucked. You know, it could have been an Englishman or something. It could have been from the other side of things. But, you know, it was Valhalla. It was the Viking story. So had he not been a Viking, it would have been completely stupid. And that's what makes this stupid, because he's a samurai in the game, but he wasn't a samurai in real life. And he's not Japanese. Okay? Imagine a black Ivor. Imagine a black Cassandra. It just wouldn't have worked properly. It would have been goofy. Right? Imagine a Chinese... Well, I can't remember the name of the guy from Origins. It would have been stupid and silly. Anyway, as translated by Google's machine translation, the petition created by Shimizu Toru states, recently lack of historical accuracy and cultural respect has been a serious problem for game developer Ubisoft, which is scheduled to release Assassin's Creed Shadows. The game is based on the samurai of Japan, ignoring the fact that the samurai is the upper class of the samurai class and should be my family or person who serves you. It adds, in fact, William Adams, the first European to receive the title of samurai, was the one who served Tokugawa Ieyasu as the flag book for 250 stoning. You got me on that one. The petition then declares, in such history, Ubisoft continues to misunderstand the essence and role of samurai. This is a serious insult to Japanese culture and history and can lead to racism in Asia. It then calls on Ubisoft to stop developing the game. We call on Ubisoft to immediately discontinue the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows and show sincere research and respect for Japanese history and culture. As of the writing of this article, the petition has received over 103,000 signatures, which is, you know, a significant number. Like I said, you know, as far as it leading to racism in Asia, I don't know the context of that. That sounds like something that the translator kind of made weird, you know? I mean, there's always going to be racism everywhere and all that. I don't see this as leading to racism so much as it's just kind of, it's insulting, you know, and it's not insulting just to Japanese people, but it's insulting to anybody who is a critical thinker and can see past what's being done here, right? Because we all see what this is. This is a clear case of pandering. And pandering is annoying. Pandering just cheapens everything and makes it worse. Okay? I don't know. If any of you are black gamers out there, what do you think? Do you feel like they're pandering to you with this? I mean, it seems silly to me to, have Yasuke as the main character. I would have rather seen a game set in, a Zulu tribesman and a Zulu warriors and Assassin's Creed set in Africa. That would be badass. You know what I mean? That would be something cool. And yeah, I would want an authentic Zulu warrior. I wouldn't want a visiting European. I wouldn't want a visiting Asian. I wouldn't want some Eskimo. No, I would want a Zulu warrior, authentic, right down to the way they wear their armor and the way they handle their weapon, all that fun stuff. This is just silly. Japanese YouTuber Shohei Kondo also explained numerous reasons as to why Japanese gamers are not happy with Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed Shadows. He states, "We are protesting marketing DEI's historical distortion stemming from their disregard for Asians and their arrogance, and discriminatory responses to protests from Japan." From there, he focuses his video on what he describes as the biggest attempt to distort history, Japan, that is the legendary samurai they claim, Yasuke. I remember, a year or two ago, here in the United States, there was a rash of crime. Physical crime against Asians, right? Assaults and stuff like that. Battery. People beating them up on the streets and all that. And, people were talking about how bad racism was against Asian people here in the U.S. And they were trying to blame, white supremacy on it and all that. And then once the numbers started coming out and we started seeing who was perpetrating these crimes, unfortunately, it was a lot of black Americans doing it. And that seemed to be the trend. And that story immediately disappeared. And now here we have a game where you can actually roleplay as that, just killing and beating up Asian people as a big African-American guy. It's kind of ironic. They think you're racist if you protest against this stuff, but they don't realize that it has nothing to do with racism. It's just a matter of finding something insulting, And if you're intelligent, you have, I don't know, man. Absolutely silly. You don't want to see this kind of crap. It's absolute garbage. Ubisoft would eventually issue a statement directed at Japanese gamers. The company posted to X, "To our esteemed Japanese community, a message from the Assassin's Creed Shadows development team. First, we want to express our heartfelt thanks for all your support, yada, 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 yada." It continued, "For many of our team, creating an Assassin's Creed game set in feudal Japan has been a long-cherished dream. Since the announcement of Assassin's Creed Shadows, we've received many positive reactions, but also some criticism, including from you, our Japanese players. We share your passion for history and deeply respect your care for the historical and cultural integrity of your rich heritage. We would like to address a few points to clarify our intentions and creative decisions." And then they went on to talk about these different things. Putting significant effort into ensuring an immersive and respectful interpretation of the game. It's never been their thing to present any of their games, including Shadows, as factual representations of history or historical characters. We've seen that before. We acknowledge that some elements in their promotional materials have caused concern. There were some weird things like the design of buildings and all that. There was a stolen flag that was from like a modern reenactment team of Japanese, I guess actors, or however you want to call them, just guys, whatever, historians that reenact these old battles or something like that. They stole their flag. Just all kinds of weird stuff. And then you combine that with the fact that when Yasuki fights, they play this weird blend of Asian and hip-hop music. Like, hip-hop didn't originate in Africa, guys. Hip-hop's an American thing, okay? And it's silly to us. I mean, it's like downright insulting to associate that with a African warrior. Okay? I mean, that's absolutely insulting. If you wanted to maybe give him some African-style drums and stuff like that, that's fine. It's kind of like playing a riff on The Godfather when an Italian character enters a room in a movie or something that's kind of for comical effect or whatever. It's comical. It's a little too comical to be taken seriously. It would have been better just to stick with music that just fit the rest of the thing and not try to stray from that. And let's make him even blacker with hip-hop. I heard the blacks like hip-hop music, right? Right? Yep, everybody agrees. Okay, we're going to add some hip-hop music in there. Come on, guys. It's freaking ridiculous. So you can read all this. We've read through all this before. But in an interview with Games Industry, One stated, "We're trying to create a game that is authentic as possible. It's something we take pride in." He continued, "And it's been a long process. We built a Japanese house from feudal Japan. It's very different from, say, a French medieval house or an English one." Yeah, no kidding. "So you have to learn as artists where things go inside a feudal Japanese house. Maybe the food doesn't go there. You have to get everything you need to know and learn it, and that process is long." Later in the interview, One explained how they went on site to conduct their research. "It's not feudal Japan, obviously, but it's good to go on site because it is only then that we realize it is very different to what we think it is. It's very interesting because when the team went there, one of the things that jumped out was the forests and how they were. We had made some forests based on the Greece landscape for Odyssey, but when we went, we noticed it was very different to what we'd done, and we had to change it. You don't necessarily find the stuff out with historical research. And there are some small things that are very important because you get a better sense of the dimensions of the building, of the culture of monuments and shrines that are still standing today. It is important to represent all that correctly. Except, of course, for the main character. Let's just totally DEI, make a DEI hire the main character. DEI hires don't work out so well. Look at Kamala Harris here in the U.S. Oh, God. One then detailed, obviously, when we make the game, we're trying to appeal to a global audience. Since we are making a game in Japan, we do hope to appeal to more Japanese players, so it is very important that we try to be as authentic as possible. We come from a humble position of we don't know anything, and we need to learn everything from scratch. We're making sure we respect things because that is something very important to Japanese people, as it is in many other countries. When you come in, you don't want to come in as if you know everything. You want to build something that when they see it and play it, they will recognize their own country," he concluded. So, anyway, what do you make of his comments about being historically accurate? I mean, it's, you know, I'll give them. It's so weird because we get these two messages from Ubisoft on this. You know, one is, yes, we strive for accuracy, historical accuracy in what we do and all that. And then the other one is, no, it's just a fictional game set against a historical backdrop and blah blah blah. Just choose your lane and go with it. And if you're wrong, you're wrong. And that's my big problem with stuff like this is when you hem and haw and you go back and forth on things. You know, I have zero respect for you, right? Make your point and stand by it. If people don't like it, oh well, not everybody's going to like everything you do. But if you stand by it, at least, you know, you have the integrity to stand by it, and people will respect you for the most part for doing that. You don't get respected by going back and forth on things and changing your mind and, you know, backpedaling and all that kind of stuff. It just makes you look weak and soft. Anyway, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and ring that bell for notifications. I will see you next time. Until then, peace.